we struggled a bit with what to name this series. It didn't occur to us until we were so busy planning the series and arranging guests that a few days before the series was about to hit record, and we were going to start talking to guests, interviewing folks. It was like, oh, we don't have a title for this thing. What are we going to call it? And we knocked a few things around, and we landed on gaining from loss, but we were worried a little bit. I'll admit I was a little worried that, will people think that's a little too glib? Is it too cute? Gaining from loss, get it, loss and gain. And will people really, at a deeper level, at a more meaningful level, be like, yeah, loss is not something you gain from. Why did we ultimately land on choosing that title?
Crucible Leadership and Beyond the Crucible, we're all about giving people hope. In every episode of this podcast, we talk about our guest's worst day, how they bounced back from that, how they found hope and healing. So that's really what we want for our listeners is even if today's their worst day, to feel like that there is hope in life. There is redemption in the broad sense of that word. And so loss is painful, whether it's loss of a loved one, a physical tragedy. And we've had a lot of different kinds of loss in the podcast overall the last several years, certainly in this series we have. And so, what hope, what gain can you find from that loss? I mean, you can't undo what happened, such as the death of a loved one, but what can you learn from that? Is there some way, while it's devastating and you wish it never happened, is there some hidden blessing, some hidden gain that you can get from it? And it sounds counterintuitive. It almost sounds heartless, cold, lack of empathy. But each guest we had said that they did gain something from it. They learned something from it. It did give them there was some hope that came out of it. So it sounds very counterintuitive, but there is something you can gain from loss. You never want the loss. Nobody wants loss, like the loss of a loved one. But what can you learn from it? Is there some gain that you can get from tragedy? It's kind of, I think, what we settled on.